Hello everyone, welcome to the Rock Dungeon Diaries and to our first video proper, our first song. So this is the song for April 2023, it's called Millie, and it should go a little bit something like this, if I can remember the chords and the words. Let's see how we get on. Millie came to play, a skinny freckled girl with dangerous French braids. She used to tease me, say she'd marry me one day, but when she kissed me I just ran the other way. But things were different bad then, back in the days when she was 9 and I was 10. She drove me crazy, but for her it was just a game. The way she made me feel I couldn't quite explain. So I'd laugh and pull her hair, she'd cry and make the whole class stare, and then she'd call me names, but I adored her all the same. I'd walk her home from school, but I just didn't have a clue. So how I loved her, Millie never knew. Yes, she's one of a kind. The years went by and she weighed heavy on my mind. I used to see her out in town from time to time, always on the arm of some good-looking guy. But then we met and it was fate. We started talking and the years just fell away. Her eyes still sparkled like they used to when she said, won't you come around and play with me again? And with one flick of her hair, all the guys just stand and stare, but they're just wasting time, cause I am hers and she is mine, and I go home each day, a silly grin upon my face, remembering when Millie came to play. So that was Millie. I hope you enjoyed it. I can't remember too much about its composition because I wrote it well over 20 years ago now. What I do remember is that it came out of a little loop that I built out of a riff, which went something like this, if I can remember it. That was me trying to be Graham Coxon. Those sort of twiddly bits are quite Coxon-y, and I was trying to do sort of one of his sort of angular guitar parts. He was and still is one of my absolute guitar heroes. So I had that riff, which I looped round, and I recorded some drums in my room at the time, looped those as well, and it just kind of sat there for a while. Then I built some chords around it eventually. As for the lyrics, I'm afraid there was no young girl who I fell in love with at primary school, and then we met later, and one thing led to another, and we ended up like living happily ever after. The girl with the dangerous French braids does exist. That was someone who was at primary school, who had this really long plait, and we used to do ceilidh dancing at school, and she used to whip that plait around and it used to smack you in the face, which was quite endearing, and I did have a little bit of a thing for her. I did know her a little bit in my teens, but she was far too pretty and far too intelligent and terrifying for me to ever say anything to her, really. So that didn't happen. But nevertheless, this song exists. Maybe it's a counterfactual. Who knows? Anyway, we'll see how we get on. The final version of this, I think, is going to sound a little bit different. For any of you who know this song and have been watching us play it live over the years, might be a bit surprised by it. So I'll give you some updates soon. Hopefully see you in the next video. See you soon.